guys, welcome back to Strong Successful Male. So for today, I'm going to go over an article titled 11 Examples of Casual Sexism You Should Know About. And guys, this article is written by a woman, and she's going to go through this whole thing of all these things that guys do that are, in her definition, casual sexism, and we should be well aware of that. Now, as you know, it wouldn't be 2021 if every day some article didn't pop up about somebody complaining or trying to bring attention to some injustice. That something that somebody's doing in today's world that is considered to be, in their opinion, offensive, sexist, racist, whatever. Every day we get something like that. I mean, I'm sure not the only one that notices these types of things. Now, in her view of casual sexism, I'm no longer going to say the other word because YouTube probably wouldn't like that too much. Don't need to cause me any problems there. In her definition of casual sexism, I really think it boils down to somebody's truly their own individual ideas of what it is. And again, nowadays, pretty much this generation, especially the younger generation, has been conditioned almost, thanks to the media and the feminist movement and all that, to look for things to be offended about. And of course, speak their minds, right? So I think these type of things she's bringing up. Now, I've heard other women complain about some of these things, but I'm going to, call BS on some of these things and make and have words about it. But a lot of these things boil down to somebody's own opinion individually, what is offensive, what's not offensive. But again, like I said, today's world, people are almost conditioned to look around and find anything that's offensive and tweet about it on Twitter or write some article online. I mean, it's just never ending. Just complaining. A lot of these people just they incessantly complain about these things and make mountain out of molehills and all that. I like to see what they do if they really had something to complain about. If they had to live in a third world country for a couple years, or they didn't know where their next meal was going to come from, whether they had shelter, things like that, then they'd have real things to complain about, and these type of things wouldn't seem like such a big deal after all. Anyhow, enough of my rant. I'm going to go into the article. It starts off, unfortunately, sexism still exists, and there are some examples of casual sexism you should know about. We women have made some huge leaps in the last decade. We've gone from not even having the vote and the right to own our own property to being, legally speaking, on equal footing to men and embarking on high-powered, high-flying careers. So it sounds like right there in that paragraph, things are going pretty good for women. If I'm not mistaken, they most certainly are. But somebody always has to have something to complain about, some injustice, and here we go. But the existence of initiatives such as the Hollaback campaign proves that sexism hasn't ended completely, and more often than not, it's at a grassroots level that we see it at its worst. Guys, I had a really bad sore throat a couple days ago. I'm still getting over that. The video I did a couple days ago, a lot of people, every other comment, people thought that I was sick or got COVID or got a new microphone or I was talking like Batman or Darth Vader. I'm just coming over a cold, a sore throat or whatever. We had a heat wave up here for 5 days. I had the air conditioning on for several days nonstop. I'm not used to it, and so hence my voice. So I'm coming over that, so just bear with me here. Anyhow, she says, so here are 7 examples of casual sexism you should know about. Well, actually, there's 11 examples here, but we know the joke about women and being able to do math right. So not 7, 11 examples. Number 1, street calling. I've yet to meet a woman who hasn't been bothered on the street. One of the key examples of casual sexism. How many times have you been walking along, minding your own business, before being shouted at by a man in a passing car, or bothered by some builders on the side of the road? It can be anything from a horn being tooted at you to shouting things that are distinctly more unsavory. Well, you know what? I've known many women that are past their prime in 30s and 40s. They like that because it makes them realize they're still attractive. About a month ago, I was working with my personal training client. She's 33. She's a pretty girl, and she has a kid. And she told me the other day, I guess she was in the car, had the window down, she was singing, and some guys were smiling at her or honked at her. I don't know what it was. And she was like, thank you. She really appreciated it. But this is a complaint you hear more from, obviously, younger women. Now, I don't want anybody to ever feel unsafe. Don't get me wrong. But come on here. Okay? I mean, unless somebody's actually really making you saying things that obviously are not cool, I don't get the problem. Okay? Again, we all know how much they love attention and validation, but perhaps it's more like safe attention validation on social media and dating apps. Who knows? But come on here. Number 2, work. I'm not talking about the more serious situations here where, for example, perhaps your boss intentionally and consistently discriminates against women. I mean more casual situations where perhaps your boss always chooses you to go and get the coffee. I was waiting for that. And not your male colleague, or even though he probably isn't any more senior than you. Or perhaps a more senior male member of the staff always refers to you as darling or sweetheart. Yes, it can be endearing, but does it really reinforce your authority in the workplace? Is he really taking you seriously? Well, if it's your job to do things like get coffee and things like that and print things out and send a fax or whatever, then it's your job. So stop complaining, okay? And, you know, I talk to a lot of people. I have a lot of friends, know a lot of people of different lines of work, and I ask questions about these things in the workplaces. I'd like to know. And a lot of times they have situations where you have younger people that obviously work whatever companies they're in. For their boss, they may run and get some coffee on the way into the job, but also the male employees do it too. But God forbid, in today's world, if a young woman is asked to, you know, bring in a few coffees for the boss and her, and usually the boss pays for it for her, you know, he'll ask her to pick something up for him, some other people, and buy it for her anyway. But, you know, and as for the senior members, the older guys referring to the girl as sweetheart or something like that, I guarantee you, overwhelmingly, it's not meant to be rude or make her feel uncomfortable. It's just how they talked, okay? And I, you know, again, today's world, the people being conditioned to find something wrong and make a big ruckus about it, make a big mountain out of a molehill. Here you go. My throat's really dry, guys. Just bear with me here. Number 3, S-word jokes. Why is it that when it comes to comedy, all decent boundaries seem to be removed? Okay, so I understand that breaking boundaries is an integral part of comedy, and some say it can't exist without it. But why is it that the S-word jokes, nearly always directed towards women, by the way, almost qualify as a genre of comedy? I don't know about you, but I'm pretty sick of these women in the kitchen jokes. Lady, get a sense of humor, okay? Comedy is not meant to be mean-spirited. It's for humor, for fun, okay? But again, in today's world, God forbid you make a joke about anybody, about anything, about them, depending on their culture, religion, gender, whatever, and people go crazy over it. Now, call me crazy, but how many sitcoms are out there right now and have been on television for a long time, decades, where they make fun of men? How many sitcoms have you guys seen where they make men out to be idiots, complete and total idiots, and they make the women appear to be strong, have things together, all that? You guys know what I'm talking about, okay? And yet you don't see guys out there raising holy hell about that. I mean, I talk about it here, and many other guys have, but we're not getting deeply offended in the way that she is here. So guys are made fun of all the time, but God forbid you make a joke about like a woman in the kitchen or whatever it is. You get someone like this losing their mind. Get a sense of humor. Nobody has a sense of humor anymore. Number 4, oh her, she's a W-H-O-R-E. One of the things I hate more than anything is the casual use of terms that are actually extremely offensive to women. Slag, S-L-U-T, W-H-O-R-E, slapper, B, tart. I hear these things in conversation all the time, and often they aren't even meant offensively. But I think perhaps that's even scarier than if it were. Well, you ever get a bunch of women together and hear them talk? What do you think some of the words they use? You hear it all the time, right? Now, and a lot of guys may say things amongst guys about some of these terms here, because I'm watching what I say here, guys. But I don't hear many conversations where guys are actually saying that directly to the women. So I'm not quite sure what she's talking about here. Is this thing she's observed other guys do? Is she not happy that other women do this? Who knows? But women do it plenty. You know, you hear the thing about the locker room talk, guys in the locker room talk. Let me tell you, you get a bunch of women together, they are way worse than guys in terms of their version of the locker room talk than guys are. You wouldn't believe the stuff I've heard. Okay, and I've been told what the girls talk about when they get together. It is, you think we're bad, they take it to a whole new level. Number 5, her 5th complaint here of casual sexism. Number 5, feminists. Feminism is a dirty word, apparently. a concept that used to, and for me still does, stand for women who want equal rights and opportunities for other women. That's not what it is in today's world, honey. I hate to break it, sweetheart, honey, whatever you hate, I'm calling you that. That's not what it's, the whole equal thing, that's what's been sold. It's not what it is, really. It's about emasculation of men. Anyhow, she says, and really, if that's the meaning of the word, what normal woman wouldn't classify herself as an feminist? Instead, it's a word that's become the butt of horrible jokes about hairy, let's just say, women who like women, and quite possibly carries more negative connotations than it does positive ones. Well, the reason it has the jokes and the negative connotations is because more people are waking up to realize it's not what's being sold. Okay, I talk about this all the time. Feminism, because I got to speak in code here, is in no way, shape, or form about the just equal rights, making things equal. That'd be one thing. It's about completely emasculating men, and amongst many other things. And look at the damage it's caused over the decades. You wouldn't believe this. It's not an accident that you have the divorce rates higher than ever. It's not an accident you got more single moms than ever raising a kid. It's no accident that the marriage rate, less and less people are getting married. It's no accident that the birth rate is down less and less every year, and governments are scared shitless about this, by the way. I've done articles about this. Where do you think it comes from? The feminist movement, trying to make men more feminine and women more masculine. Call it cultural Marxism, if you will. Okay? Trying to make everybody equal. And look at the damage it's done. So, of course, it's going to have a more and more negative connotation. And if you don't like it, well, I hate to break it to you, sweetheart. Get used to it. It's going to get worse. Number 6, the 6th complaint. Double standards. This should be good. I know several beautiful, intelligent women who've had one-night stands. Some of them have had several. More than a few. What do I think about this? Do I think they're sluts? There's that word again, she says. Because of it? Of course I don't. I think they're adults who engage in an activity that had mutual benefits for both. However, would everyone agree with me? I think the answer is no. I think a significant amount of people would go for the former option. That they're sluts, or at best, a bit loose. But when a man does it, I knew it was coming. When a man does it, doesn't matter how much women he sleeps with, the more the better, because he's a legend, right? Well, I'm not going to begin to get into how many double standards there are that have a negative impact on men. Okay, we all know it here. And whenever the double standard conversation comes up, this is always it. Always it right here, this example. But how many double standards are out there that we're scratching our heads saying, what the hell, right? Number 7, nightlife. I love to go out with my friends, have a drink, and dance the night away. What I don't love is when on a crowded dance floor, some guy comes up to me and thinks it's okay to touch me in places I really don't want him to touch me. Why is this seen as acceptable? Shouldn't they at least ask permission first? And if you refuse, I've been called anything from frigid to stuck up B. And I'm sure I'm not the only one. Well, I'm kind of okay with this one, to be honest with you. Because she's out there on the dance floor, shaking it and all and dancing. And some dude comes up to her and he's grabbing her and all. Okay, I can see her not being cool with that. That's fine. Unless, of course, she invited him. But then again, if she thought he was hot, then that'd be a different ballgame and she wouldn't be complaining. But still, unwanted advances like that, okay, I can see where she's coming from. And of course, the guy, if she's not interested, starts insulting her because he's probably drunk, calling her all sorts of names. Again, that's not cool. And I don't want anybody to feel uncomfortable or in physical danger. So I'm kind of okay with this. I'm okay with this one. But the other things I think are ridiculous. Anyway, number 8. Too pretty to be smart. Oh, you're not attractive, so you must be smart. Either way, these are wrong and sexist. There are plenty of times that pretty girls are assumed to be stupid. I've seen people be surprised that a pretty girl has good grades, is into comic books, or likes sci-fi. Looks and intelligence are not related, but for some reason, people try to link the two when it comes to women. Men, no matter what they look like, are allowed to be smart, dumb like comic books, and not like them. Well, here's the deal. I have known women in my life, damn good-looking women, beautiful women, that were sharp. They were intelligent, both book smart and street smart. I've also known beautiful women that were dumb as a post. Okay, so it goes both ways. So, again, is this something that she observes all the time? Is she? I don't know what she looks like. Maybe she's really good looking, and then people assume this about her. Who knows? But it doesn't seem to be something. It's just personally me. That's not my view on things. honestly. And I don't know many guys that have that, but I have known very, very stupid, boneheaded women. They were beautiful. So the stereotype does come from something, but still, this may happen to her a lot. I don't know. Number 9, working and having children. Again, these are all things under, remember the whole article is about casual sexism here. It's assumed that women with children don't work as hard as other people. It can hold employers back from hiring you if you're pregnant or have children because they assume you'll need more time off than other employees. Many times women are inadvertently forced to choose between having a successful career and having a family. This causes women to reach their career goals and then have nobody to share with it. Of course, someone would prefer it that way, but it'd be nice to have the option. Well, I've known a lot of women that have very busy careers. They're very successful, do very well for themselves, make good money, and by and large are taking care of the kids, and they make it happen. I mean, they're tired, don't get me wrong, and they make time for the gym, I might add. But they do a darn good job. But also, I've heard stories and known women, because again, I talk to people who have different careers and lines of work, and I'm very curious about these types of things in general, but also helps me in this channel. And there are also women out there that have the kids and everything, and believe me, it could be a giant pain in the ass for the employer because they got to run out for this appointment or that appointment or whatever, and they're not as productive as some of the ones that are single. So, it can go both ways. But you can't blame an employer too much if they realize that they're not going to get as much from their employee that they need. If the one's always going to be running out for this, or you see what I mean here? Number 10, just flirt with him. How many times has someone told you that you'll get what you want if you flirt with someone? Oh, you need a day off? Flirt. You want a drink? Flirt. That seems to be the answer for everything. Instead of being given things because you deserve them, buy them or ask them, just like everyone else's people think, you just need to flash a smile, cleavage, or giggle a little to get what you want. It's not fair that people assume it's that simple or fair to get what you want that way. Well, is she directing this to guys or the women? Because I'm sure the women have probably, if she's good looking, told her, oh, just, you want to get into a busy bar or club that has a wait to get in? How many times have girls walked up to the bouncer, because there's a line to get in the popular bar or club, and they start flirting with him? He lets them in because they're young and pretty, and they of course want to keep young, pretty girls in there because I'll bring all the guys in, right? I'm sure she probably gets this more from women than actually guys about just, oh, go flirt with a guy to get him to buy you drinks. Go flirt with him and buy you some appetizers. You get the point here. So, but women do it all the time. So stop making out to be this horrible thing, because I don't think that guys are telling her to go flirt to get this free stuff from other guys. And number 11, this kind of connects with number 10. It only happened because he or she thinks you're attractive. If you get a promotion at work, a good grade in class, or anything else that you've worked hard for, sometimes people assume you got it because whoever gave it to you found you attractive. Why isn't it assumed that you just worked hard and earned it? It's even worse when they assume that you slept with that person to get it. Either way, it's not fair, and you don't really see that's happening to men. What's sad is that a lot of people don't realize that's this kind of act of S-wordism that they assume these type of things. Well, it does happen, okay? A lot of women do end up having relations to kind of get where they want to get, but also a lot don't, okay? And again, she is obviously very butthurt about things. I'm guessing, again, I didn't research this because I really don't care, but she probably is good looking, and these are a lot of assumptions that she gets, and she's probably peed about it, really pissed off about it. And I want to bet you some of these things are just women that are actually bringing this up, not necessarily guys, but who the hell knows. But again, making mountains out of a molehill, trying to find things to be pissed off about and being offended about. I mean, come on here, lady. So there you are. If you want some more specific examples, log on to Everyday Sexism. It is really enlightening. Even if you're a woman who regularly experiences this kind of behavior, have you had to face this kind of attitude and behavior? So there you go, guys. Again, no doubt a young woman, just got to find something to vent about and write an article about, because in today's world, guess what? Women are doing really well on so many levels. So many levels. And we know the deck is stacked against guys so much. That's why I warn you about so many things in this channel. But I wanted to bring this to light. I saw this, that was worth mentioning, because, and for guys, now as the world is definitely opening up, at least here in the United States, now that COVID is coming to an end in terms of people are getting vaccinations and all that stuff, and a lot of governments, employers having people come back to work. Guys, this is the world we're in, where everybody's offended about something. Everybody's going to complain about something. I mean, women, let's be honest here. So you got to watch out. You got to watch what you say. You got to watch what you do. I'm not saying it's right, but as the world opens up and you guys are going back to work and things like that, just keep these things in mind when you're back in the workplace and all. Because, I mean, I used to do, when I first started this channel back last winter, I did a number of videos dealing with the whole Me Too thing. M2, as I was speaking in code. And obviously that's died down because of obviously COVID and people working from home. But now, as people are going back to the workplace, just you watch, those articles are going to start popping up again. Just watch about the M2 movement and men avoiding women in the workplace and all that to protect their careers and the complaints about that. Just you watch. It's going to happen. I'll start doing articles about those as they start popping up out of nowhere. But just got to be careful, okay? I'm not saying that her complaints here are right. I think a lot of them are ridiculous, that she's just looking for something to bitch and complain about. But I don't want you guys to ever get any situations where it could impact your job or anything even worse. Okay, so, but anyhow, this is how it is in today's world, but, you know, it's just makes me shake my head every time. So anyway, guys, that is it for today. Thank you for bearing with me with my voice being off like it is. I'm definitely getting a little bit better every day. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. And be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time.